moim kolejnym filmiku. Jestem dzisiaj trochę zestresowana, bo właśnie przed chwilą na tej kanapie Laura Lee, i zobaczycie to na jej kanale, przeprowadziła wywiad z Samanthą Shannon, którą po prostu kocham. Samantha, I love you so much. I love your books. They are amazing.
That's so kind of you, thank you.
Oh my gosh. You know, the bone season, the mind order and the songwriting, yeah? No, także zaczynamy. Mam nadzieję, że się Wam spodoba to wszystko tutaj po Laurze, to raz jeszcze odsyłam do niej na kanał. Laura, pozdrawiam Cię gorąco. You have been compared by book insiders to J.K. Rowling.
Oh yes.
How do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings about it because I would never personally compare myself to her because J.K. Rowling, you know, she was one of my favourite authors growing up. I absolutely love her, and I would never say that I was, you know, the next J.K. Rowling because, you know, there's just one of her and she's amazing, and we don't need a new one. But you know, it's also kind of nice in a way because, you know, I admire her a lot. So if people genuinely think that I'm even anywhere near as good a writer as she is, then, you know, that's very nice.
Which Hogwarts house do you belong in?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, like Laura!
Yeah.
What about your characters? I mean, Paige, Mahoney, Jackson Hall, Nashira, Arcturus and maybe Nick. Which Hogwarts house do they belong in?
Okay, Paige is definitely Gryffindor. Nick and Arcturus are Ravenclaw, and Nashira and Jackson are Slytherin.
Yeah.
I think that's about right.
What two characters from the Songwriting are you most attached to?
Well, apart from the main cast, the new characters who are in the Songwriting, I love Maria, who is one of Paige's commanders, and she was loads of fun to write because she just wants to basically burn everything down. Like, she's very kind of rebellious and but she's also just really nice, and she has this really interesting history, so she was really great to write. And I like Tom as well, who is another one of Paige's commanders. There was quite a lot of new characters to introduce in this book.
Maria, Tom and... It's very important.
I guess Al-Safi, who's one of the Rephaim, yeah, and I can't really say why he was so interesting to write without spoilers, but yeah, he has a scene.
Yes, I've read, so yes. I know. Yeah.
that scene.
Do you know Mary Kiss Cliff? It's a very popular tag on YouTube.
Okay.
From the three characters you just told us, which one would you want to marry? Which one would you want to kiss?
Right.
And which one would you want to push off a cliff?
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Okay. Probably marry Tom, even though he's kind of old, but I think he would be a good husband. And
Al-Safi and
Maria kiss and Al-Safi.
Why?
Because he's the only one left. I'm sorry. Al-Safi goes over the cliff. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! Did any of your characters have different names in your original draft?
Yes. So Liz from the first book, she was called Nancy for ages. Who else had a different name? I think Liz was the main one whose name changed, and then there was a lot of minor characters in the bonuses who
so Arcturus from the beginning was Arcturus?
He was Arcturus, yeah. Paige was Paige, Jackson was Jackson. Oh, Nick was called Matt, I think. Yeah, he was Matt, and then he just didn't end up suiting that name, and he was Nick.
What is your favorite part about writing a fantasy dystopian novel?
I love world building, so just creating the world of books is so much fun for me. I love kind of adding different layers to the society and adding all the little details. I also just really love writing, it's not specific to fantasy or dystopia, but I love writing dialogue between characters. Dystopia is very good as well because you can really push a character to the limit, so you can put them into like really terrifying, extreme situations and see what that does to their character. And for me as a writer, that's really interesting because I can put Paige in these really, really high pressure situations and I have to then see how she reacts, and I like that a lot.
Do you already have the entire series planned out, or are you just making it up as you go?
I had the series planned out, so I know all of the major things that are going to happen. I leave a little bit of room to change my mind though, and sometimes the books do change quite a lot when I edit them. So the songwriting had almost a completely different story in the first draft. But as I edited it, it just kept changing until it was, you know, very different. But I do know where I'm going with it, and I know how it's going to end, and I know where.
You know that?
I know that. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I know where Paige. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where Paige needs to be at the end of every book, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Okay, what are some of your favorite young adult series?
Oh gosh, so many. I love The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury, which is this amazing kind of dark fantasy series, and it's about like alchemy and stuff like that. It's amazing. I love CZYTAJCIE The Star-Touch Queen, which if you haven't read it, it's completely amazing. It's kind of this Indian-inspired fantasy, and it's like a retelling of Hades and Persephone, which is amazing. And the second book's just come out, but I haven't read it yet, but I will soon because I'm very excited. There's Rebel of the Sands by Arwen Hamilton, which is...
I've read that already. Yes, yeah, no, very good, very good.
Yeah, it's so great. And I know some things that are going to happen in the third book because I'm friends with Arwen and we've talked about it sometimes. Yeah, there's just so many great young adult series to choose from.
And Sarah J. Maas, because my subscribers are very huge fans of her.
Yes, no, I'm a big fan of Sarah's books. I need to read A Court of Mist and Fury because I started it, but then I got distracted by something, I think. But I love the Throne of Glass series, and I think she's such an amazing world builder. I love all her characters. Like, I think she's just such a great writer.
But what is better for you? Throne of Glass or A Court of Thorns and Roses?
Well, because I've only read the first Court of Thorns and Roses book, I think probably at the moment I prefer Throne of Glass, but I'm told that in the second book the world gets a lot bigger, so maybe I'll end up liking it more. But I think it's because, like, you know, I met Sarah when she published Throne of Glass, and I feel like I've been reading it for years and years, so I'm quite attached to it, I suppose.
On your blog you released the soundtrack for The Song Rising.
I did, yeah.
Yes, and if you could pick just one song from the album to represent your book, which one would it be and why?
Gosh, now I've got to try and remember all of the songs on the album so I can pick one. There's lots of songs on there I suppose could represent the whole series, the whole book. There's one song I really like on there, it's called And I Will Kiss by Underworld, and it was used in the London 2012 Olympics during the opening ceremony, and it's just like, it doesn't have any lyrics, but it reminds me of Song Rising generally. It's just
music,
yeah, it's just music, yeah.
So music is very important for you?
Yeah, very.
During the writing process?
When I'm writing, I can't listen to music with lyrics a lot of the time because I think lyrics kind of already give the song a story, and that distracts me from the story I'm trying to write. But I can listen to music without lyrics, and I often do. And especially in editing, like sometimes in writing I just need to be silent, but in editing I listen to music a lot.
Now let's talk about the movie and music. Would you want to collaborate with the composer for its music score?
Oh, I would love to. I mean, I have absolutely no musical talent at all, but I would be very excited to just watch a composer working. Like, I have so much admiration for people who write the scores for films.
What is your favorite composer?
Oh gosh, I love Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, yeah.
I know that's a kind of a cliche answer
yes.
because everyone loves him. I could probably talk all day about composers I like, but most of them end up on my Spotify.
Which composer should make music for the bone season?
Oh my goodness, I would really struggle to choose someone because there are so. I think the thing is each composer would give it such a different tone, and I think that if you had one it would be really epic, and then one it would be kind of more mysterious and eerie, and I think I would find it very hard to choose if I was ever given a choice. Like I can't even choose now because I'm just overwhelmed by the choice.
Are you writing the screenplay for it?
I'm not. They have a screenwriter. The thing is, I've never written a screenplay in my life, and I don't want my first one to be Bone Season because I'd rather it was someone who knew what they were doing rather than me just kind of experimenting with that one. I would really like to kind of. I will get to see the screenplay and presumably make notes on it, so I guess I will be kind of slightly involved. But I don't think I would write. I'm not a screenwriter, so.
But you can try.
I can try. I'm hoping I will learn from the process of watching a screenwriter convert my words into a screenplay, because then I can see how they're doing it and what choices they've made, and I would like to be able to learn about it, so maybe in the future I can do it.
What is your dream cast for the main characters in the movie?
I'd like Benedict Cumberbatch to play Jackson.
Yes.
I think he's just like he's just very perfect. Like I mean, it's not just because of how he looks. It's because like I just admire his acting so much. And I went to see him in Hamlet when it came to London, and it was he just put so much energy into all the roles he plays, and I think that would be perfect for Jackson. Apart from him, I don't really have any major dream cast people. It's really hard for me to compare the characters to actors and actresses, and it's, I don't know, I'd be quite open to, to hearing about, suggestions.
But do you prefer British actors or American?
I want them to be the right nationality of the character, so I'd like Paige to be played by an Irish actor and Nick by a Swedish actor, so, I'd rather it was a diverse cast of actors.
Since publishing your books, have you met anyone that was a dream come true for you? Yeah. I know about Margaret Atwood.
Margaret Atwood, yes. Margaret Atwood was probably the biggest one because she wrote my favourite book, so that was a dream come true.
J.K. Rowling, maybe?
I haven't met J.K. Rowling, sadly. I would love to, but I guess, she's very, very famous and it would be very hard to meet her, but maybe one day, never know. Neil Gaiman, who's incredibly lovely, Andy Serkis, Michelle Fairley, who plays Catelyn Stark in Game of Thrones, also just an incredibly lovely person. It's just amazing meeting all these like incredibly famous people, and they turn out to be really nice because it's just nice when that happens.
I love beautiful covers. So what is, in your opinion, the most beautiful cover you have ever seen?
What, on any
book cover? Book cover, yeah.
Oh gosh, there are so many like really beautiful ones, especially in YA. Actually, there's a lot of young adult covers that are just gorgeous. I think the one for Strange the Dreamer by Lady Taylor is really nice, especially the UK cover. It's just that lovely rich blue with like this lovely golden moss on it.
Rebel of Sand.
Rebel of Sand has an amazing cover as well. Like there's just the gold and it's just any cover with gold is quite nice. I'm very drawn to those covers.
My last question is inspired by Jessica Reader, one of my favorite vloggers. If your characters had a YouTube channel, what kind would it be? About politics, maybe fashion? I don't know.
I love this. I love this. This is a great question. I think Warden would have like a music criticism channel, and he would talk about, composers and comment on them. I think Paige, I feel like she'd have like a political channel. She'd be like a young activist. I can definitely see that. Give me another character.
Nashira, maybe?
Nashira. I don't think I want to know what kind of YouTube channel would have.
Witchcraft.
It would not be a good YouTube channel. I think that would be, Paige definitely politics though, should be very political.
Okay, and Jackson?
Jackson would definitely have a booktube channel, I think.
Oh yeah,
and he would think he was the best booktuber, and he would hate everyone else, and he would
I agree.
And he would just comment on old fiction and just talk about how great he is and review his own books probably and say they were the best thing ever written. That would definitely be him.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. Także to by było na tyle. Dalej nie wierzę w to, że siedzę tutaj obok Samanthy. Trochę się zestresowałam, mam nadzieję, że nie było tego aż tak bardzo widać. Raz jeszcze zapraszam Was do Laureli i to by było chyba na tyle. Także trzymajcie się, bye!